Hey guys, it's me again, and I'm just a video making machine tonight. So this is actually my third quick tip of the night. So hey, I guess I'm on a roll. So as I mentioned before, I'm in a process of trying to get Dizzy and Slade ready to go out and do some runs tomorrow. Hopefully the weather will hold. But Dizzy and Slade have both been sitting pretty much all winter long. Well, that's not true. Dizzy's been out and about. You've seen him. Slade, he hasn't had any runs this season yet just because I need to rebuild his transmission. And that video is should be posted here soon too. But the tires, I mentioned, I mentioned this before. One of the issues with the foam tires is that they dry out. And when they dry out, they get really hard and they don't stick very well. So to wake them up, one of the things you can do is use traction compound. And there's been a lot of articles about this stuff, not this in particular, but just traction compound in general. It's in a lot of RC magazines because, a lot of people are trying to use compounds now and sneak in and cheat and stuff like that. I'm not racing. I'll say that again. I'm not racing. I'm not in any league. I just put some stuff together to do some craziness. So I'm not necessarily concerned about sanctioning bodies and rules and that kind of stuff. Although I am a little bit concerned about putting potentially dangerous and explosive chemicals in the path of my children. But that's a whole different issue. But this is the stuff I've been using. This Paragon FX2 traction compound. And it actually seems to work pretty well. The way you apply this stuff, and again, one-handed with dangerous chemicals might be a bad thing. But basically there's a swab in here that, and this stuff is like thin. It's it's a petroleum distillate. So it's actually, let me pause 1 second and open it up so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so here you can see what this stuff kind of looks like. So you can't really see if I can hold the light, so you can hold this to the light so you can see what it looks like. But it just looks like, clear liquid in here. It stinks to high heaven though. So this stuff is not, it's you can just tell by all the fumes that it emits that it's not the friendliest, happiest stuff. Kyle says it smells like glue, and that makes a lot of sense because you put this on your tires and it soaks in and it makes them stick like crazy. So there's a little bit of a technique involved in here though. For the rear tires on a two-wheel drive car, there's not a whole lot to it. You just take the swab and you apply it all the way around the tire and give it a chance to soak in. Now the directions and some things online say that you should have a chance to soak in and then apply it again a little bit before you run, so that everything is nice and saturated, but you also have it's soaked in, so it's not just all being flung out. So on the front, though, it's a little different. On a four-wheel drive car, I believe, you can just go ahead and put it all around the front. But they recommend for a two-wheel drive car, you only put it on the inner surface of the tire. And the reason for that is the two-wheel drive, if the two-wheel drive car's front wheels stick too much, it's going to give you bad handling dynamics. So you want these to have a little bit of slip. So you want more grip on your rear tires than your front tires on a two-wheel drive car, especially one like a Rustler where the weight distribution is like 70-30, or actually it's probably more like, almost 80-20. So Rustlers are very, very rear heavy. Now, Slade's a little bit different because I've got him weighed down, so his CG is more balanced, is more in the middle, but still. When you get on the throttle, all the weight transfers to the rear anyway. So you want the rears to be able to take all the torque that you put on them. You want the fronts to still be kind of effective. Now again, in my case, this probably wasn't completely necessary. I probably could just wet down the whole thing because I've got this spoiler up here. And my application is a little bit different. I'm just trying to steer and keep straight at speed. I'm not trying to do road racing with Slade, at least not at this point. So simple little video for you. And with all this stuff, you got to experiment, because when you start to customize your car, your setup is going to be completely different than someone else's setup, even if you're using the same hardware, even if you're combining them in a very similar way. Every car becomes a little bit different. They're all going to have a little bit different feel. They're all going to be set up a little bit differently. So you're going to have to experiment and see what works for you. Just because something works well for me doesn't mean it's going to work well for you. So you have to put in the legwork, you have to do your homework, you have to experiment, and you have to fly, break it, fix it, and do it all over again. All right, guys, Our House 21 signing out. Remember to check me out on Facebook, Instagram, all the places that you can get me. Don't forget about Lamont over at rcspeedrunhub.com. So you guys know all the places. Check you out. Our House 21 signing off. Peace.